Hi ladies, I'm back for Tipsy Tuesday. Did you miss me last week? My husband and I took 2.5 days, Tuesday to Thursday, and took off to Charleston, South Carolina for a little getaway. Left the 3 guys home with Mary and the dogs, and they all survived. No issues. And we had the best time, like truly the best time. I highly recommend that city if you haven't been. Oh my gosh. So fun. We stayed right downtown, great restaurants. Let me know if you're going, I'll give you my restaurant tips. But thank you to all you who recommended restaurants, because that's pretty much where I got all my ideas, was from you ladies. So thank you for your help. It was great to get away. It's nice to be back. And it's already Tuesday again. And it's been 2 weeks. I can't even believe it. Today's Tipsy Tuesday is chock full with dressing tips based on body type. Now, I'm not getting into what are considered the horizontal body types, which is like pear and rectangle, circle, and inverted triangle and hourglass. Those I do include a whole little class on that in my my seasonal style system programs. It's a lot of information, but there's one body measurement or body type that is so critical and is often kind of overlooked. You know, people get very caught up on what shape they are, but your vertical body type is very critical. And a lot of people have been told all their life, you're long-waisted, you're short-waisted, your mother told you, you just can tell by looking in the mirror. Sometimes it's very obvious, or very obvious with the way clothing fits, But if you have no idea whether you're long or short-waisted, or if you're proportionate, here's a simple trick. I've told this one before. You've probably seen it on the internet. I won't spend a lot of time, but basically you're just going to stand, probably without clothes on, but I'm not going to do that for you. And you're just going to take your hand and put it right under your bust, I'm wearing a sports bra, but right under there, right under the girls, and with your fingers together, not like this, fingers together, and the other hand under that hand. And then you're going to look down. I will lift up and you're going to feel for your belly button, okay? If your belly button is completely covered and is gone, then chances are you have a short waist. If there is tons of skin between your pinky finger on your bottom hand and your belly button, chances are you have a long torso or a long waist. Basically, it's your torso length. There are other measurements you can do. You can measure from the top of your head to your leg break or your crotch, as it were, and compare that number to the length of your legs. And if they're the same, that means you're proportionate. There's all kinds of math. I don't do math. I like the hand thing. And chances are you can look in the mirror or just look at the way clothing fits you and know if you're long-waisted or short-waisted or proportionate. I am pretty proportionate because my lower finger is hitting right at my belly button. So a lot of people are proportionate, but I would say most people are not. It's very common to be one or the other. So I'd be curious if you know what you are. Let me know and especially if you're an extreme of one or the other. That's where it gets tricky. If you're not an extreme, then you have a lot more leeway. But if you're if you're extremely short-waisted or extremely long-waisted, then these tricks that I'm going to share with you are going to be really helpful. But a lot of these tricks are going to apply to, you can use them to work no matter what your body type is. And at the end, I'm also going to demonstrate the whole tuck issue, the whole half tuck, tie tuck, side tuck or not tuck, which is a big question I get. And I'm going to save that for the end because that can apply to everyone. But there are some tucking tips along the way for both short and long-waisted ladies. Disclaimer here, girls, these are tips. These are rules of thumb. These are not rules. These are not hard and fast rules. I know a lot of us, especially if you grew up one extreme or the other, you were told you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't tuck, you must tuck, you did. There are workarounds for all those things. And at the end of the day, I'm a big believer in good, better, and best. Okay? You're not always going to be going with the best. You know, it's just not, every day is not going to be, you're not going to check all the boxes and have everything be perfect. It's not realistic, right? You want to have fun. You don't want to overthink it. So just think of good, better, and best. Like, this is good, you know, it might be good. And this, oh, wow, well, that's actually better. And then like, wow, that's best. And keep those things in mind, but don't over stress over it. If there's something that's just good in terms of the rules, but you love the way it looks, and you take your mirror selfie, which is the best thing to do if you have a question. Take a mirror selfie, not looking in the mirror selfie, look at the picture. If you see something, you try it and it doesn't check the boxes of best for your body type, but you look in the mirror selfie and you say, wow, I really like that. And it's good and I love it and it makes me happy. Wear it, okay? Forget the rules, just wear it. Hi everyone who's joining. Hi everyone, hi Mary. Short body, short-waisted. Yes, there's a lot of you out there. I know it's challenging. So I'm going to start with short-waisted because I was going to say that's the most common, but it's really not. It's hard to say what's most common. They both have their challenges. The thing with being short-waisted though, especially as we go through menopause and get older and our midsections expand, that real estate here, if it's already short, can get even shorter. Okay, so that brings me to the number one thing you need to do, and I harp on this all the time, and you know this intellectually, you know this, you know, it makes sense. You gotta have a good bra. You gotta lift things up here. Because if you're, especially if you've got a big chest, it doesn't even really matter. If your chest is not up high and you have a short waist, think about it. You know, that space is reduced, and that's the opposite of what you want to do. The goal for both of these scenarios, long and short-waisted, is to create proportion. So when you are short-waisted, you want to create you want to visually elongate your torso. And one of the best ways to do that is to go to Nordstrom, go to Joe Karen if you're local to me in Acton, Boxborough, Massachusetts area. Travel if you can. Joe Karen, go or Google it in your local area, like a boutique or a professional bra fitter. If you have a Nordstrom near you and that's easiest, call ahead and say, I want your oldest and best bra fitter. So not to knock the 16-year-old, 18-year-old girl who's working there, but she hasn't seen as many boobs as the 50, 60, 70-year-old woman who's been doing this as a career. And they are there and they will work magic. So you might have to spend some more money to get a good bra that's lifting things up. But that's the first thing you're going to do. Okay. Number 2, again, harp. You hear all the time. So I want to embrace the V-neck. What's a V-neck do? It elongates. Okay. So, I'm wearing a V-neck. This is going to, anytime you have a vertical line, you're going to be elongating. So V-necks are your friend. What are not your friends? I'm not saying you can't wear these. Boat necks. What's a boat neck doing? It's cutting things off. It is making your torso even shorter visually. And when I say a V-neck, it could be a scoop neck too, just showing that skin here, elongating your torso. But let's say you have a boat neck. Maybe it's like a striped boat neck shirt that like the J. Crew, or I love the Amazon one that's kind of a boat neck. It's got a high neck. And you're saying, well, I'm short-waisted. I'm not allowed to wear boat necks, especially with a horizontal stripe. That's like all the things I'm not supposed to do. Well, let's say you love the look of a striped shirt and you want that look. What are you going to do? You're going to wear it. And this is what you can do. You're going to add I'm going to throw this one on. A pendant necklace that is, let's say I'm wearing my striped boat neck. I should have it on, but I don't. You're going to add, say, a pendant necklace that is creating a vertical line. It's breaking up the horizontal lines, whether it's striped or solid or whatever. It's creating, here's your boat neck. It's creating a V with your necklace. So that's the first thing you do. Second thing you can do is throw on a jacket. You've got your boat neck striped shirt, and you throw on your jean jacket, and that's just like classic. Look at on Pinterest, they're all wearing it. So you've got your boat neck, your stripe, your jacket, whether it's a black blazer, a olive green cargo jacket, some sort of jacket or cardigan, whatever. What that's doing is it's creating these vertical lines down your front. So you're breaking the boat neck rule when you're short-waisted, but you're making it work with your jacket. And then that J. Crew shirt we talk about, or the Amazon one that I like, that's less expensive and frankly better, I'll link it. You're gonna leave it untucked if you're short-waisted, okay? It's not a big billowy, it's not gonna make you look, you're gonna leave it untucked. And then with your shorter jacket, your jacket's gonna be defining your waist. The longer shirt, the black and white striped shirt sticking out, use your imagination, ladies. I don't have pictures like the high-tech girls do, but picture the longer hip bone length shirt under your fitted jacket. Bam, you've lengthened your torso and you're still wearing a boat neck and a horizontal stripe. You've broken those rules, but you've made it work by strategically making these little tweaks and you look great, okay? Too hot for this. All right, so that, I think that just checked off a couple of my notes. So hip bone zone, that is a great location, great length for your tops. So a lot of you short-waisted people have been told you're not allowed to tuck and you're not allowed to wear belts. I'm gonna tell you that you are. But if one obvious way of lengthening your torso is to not tuck and to not wear a belt, right? That's like short-waisted 101, okay? So you're saying, well, how long do you want it to be? You don't want it to be as long as this shirt. Here, I wore this shirt because it's a tunic that I can show different things, but you're not gonna want it to be this long, right? Because then your legs are gonna look short. And it's just, this isn't great in any case, but you're gonna have it hit right about your hip bone zone. I'm gonna do a little trick. So my hip bones are right here. So when you're short-waisted, you want your tops to be at the hip bone, or even a couple inches shorter, like that. So I have my little magic rubber band here. What that's doing is it's elongating your torso, right? As opposed to it being up here, it's shorter. This is longer. This is better, right? And then if let's say it's a looser top and you wanted to kind of create that waist, you throw your jacket back on that might hit here, might hit a little shorter, but you've got this length. And maybe here's a trick. Maybe this underlayer is a lighter color. The lighter color is gonna elongate, or a brighter color, a bright color under like the jean jacket, that's gonna elongate, it's gonna create the illusion of a longer torso as well. But remember, your hip bones and a couple inches longer than that. You don't need to go longer than that, but keep that hip bone zone in mind when you're short-waisted. And when you think of jackets, when you think of cardigans, long cardigans are good too, but for tops and jackets, that's a good rule of thumb. Okay, let me see if I have any questions. I always feel like high-length cardigans drag me down visually. Oh, thigh-length cardigans. Is that a proportionate thing, or am I body delusional? You're probably a little body delusional, Jane. Is that Jane? I'm sorry. Yes, it is. I'm going to address that. That's a good question. I have a trick about those long cardigans that you see everywhere that are great, and how really anyone can wear them. But I have just one little rule of thumb on those. But I wanted to briefly finish talking about, what was I just talking about before I read that? See, that's hip bone zone, length of the shirt, length. Anyway, well, I'll go there now, Jane. So a long cardigan, any kind of long cardigan, or if you are wearing a tunic top, you want your bottoms to not be cropped, to not be cuffed even, to have them be full length. Like a full length straight leg jean, a full length skinny jean. Yes, you are still allowed to wear those. A full length, ponte pant, full length, and then have like your booty, if we're talking fall, then your booty or your shoe, have that match the pant, the bottom, and then throw your long cardigan on, and it's gonna look great. Now if you're long-waisted, if you're short-waisted, talk about long next. If you're wearing that long cardigan and you're skinny jeans, so you've elongated your legs, but you don't want you want your top under the cardigan to be at that hip bone zone. Okay, does that make sense? And then if your pants are long and not cropped and not cuffed, because if you have a cropped pant and a cuffed pant, or a cuffed pant, and then a long cardigan, the proportions are just off. And I think that's my rule of thumb across the board. If I'm wearing, yeah, okay, does that make sense? Did that answer that question? I hope so. Okay, here we go. What other, so we're still talking short-waisted here, ladies. Skirts are your friend, okay? Dresses, skirts. You want, in a perfect world, for best, you want to show those great legs. Lots of short-waisted girls have great legs. A lot of times they have long legs. So you want to show your legs. So a skirt that grazes the knee or is a smidge above the knee is perfect. I know all the rage are the long skirts, the long prairie dresses. Those are probably more in terms of good. The short's gonna be best. So if you love that look, that's fine. But know that a long skirt, when you're short-waisted, is going to accentuate how much shorter your waist is relative to how much shorter your torso is relative to your legs and your lower body, right? The long skirt is going to accentuate how long you are there and make your top look shorter. So I'm not saying you can't wear them. I'm just saying your best length, if you're short-waisted, is a shorter skirt. Knee length, smidge above, okay? Don't be afraid to go a little above your knee. If you have great legs, that's your friend. Flaunt them, okay? A-line skirts are great. Pencil skirts are great. We talked about vertical accessories, tops that hit the hip bone zone. Oh, the number one thing is, I know they're everywhere, high-rise jeans. No, I'm sorry. Sorry to all the bloggers and all the 18-year-old girls who will only buy and wear high-rise jeans. If you are short-waisted, like really short-waisted, and you wear a 12-inch rib cage height jean, it's just not gonna work. And I know people say it does and the girls do it. My opinion, again, if you like it, go for it. But it's not gonna be that comfortable to have your jeans hitting practically at your bra, and it's just gonna look off. It is gonna make your upper body this long, right? If you're short-waisted and you wear high-rise, and by high-rise, I mean like, if it says high-rise or ultra-high-rise, run away if you are short-waisted. I know it's hard because that's what you see. Look for 8, 9 inches, 10 at the most. I mean, they go up to 12, 8, 9, a mid-rise. You're not gonna, we're probably beyond the like belly, whatever, the low rider, Britney Spears jeans that were so fun to wear back in the day. Those might be coming back actually. So there you go. But those present all different problems. But mid-rise. So when you're buying jeans or pants, you need to look at the inseam, the number, the rise, not you look at the inseam, of course, but you need to look at the rise. And mid-rise is generally in the 8 to 9 inch range. Okay, so if you're short-waisted, that's where you're going to want to go, because those high rises are going to have it's going to just, or paper bag pants, those popular high rise paper bag pants. If you are short-waisted, you're going to just be shortening your torso, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. Yeah. Okay. So now because like I know a lot of leggings and workout pants are very high-waisted. And if you're short-waisted, which is what Debbie's saying, they come up right to her workout, but she's like she's got spandex going everywhere. It's like she's in Spanx to work out. You don't want that. So look at the rise in your leggings as well. If you are short-waisted, if you're proportionate, then you can get away with wearing higher rises. I've finally gotten used to high rise. This is about as high as I'll go. My favorite jeans, here's a tip. My favorite jeans that are more of a mid to high-ish rise, here's a good short-waisted tip, is the J. Crew straight leg. I think they're called vintage denim. I'll link them again. They also have button fly, and thick denim, which kind of has like a corseting effect for this area. And that button fly is doing what, ladies? It is a vertical line. So it is, visually kind of elongating things. So they are great for short-waisted. They're great for everyone, I think, but if you're trying to elongate your waist visually, those are great and they're comfortable. And I took them and wore them in Charleston, and then I went to put them on today to demonstrate all this and can't find them. May have left them in my hotel. Don't know where they are. They're not in my suitcase. Anyway, yeah. Kristen loves the J. Crew pants. They're great. Okay, so and keep that in mind with that button fly. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want a button fly because it draws attention to that area. And that you got to try them. If they're a thick enough denim, they really can almost work like Spanx. Like they suck things in and flatten things out, and they create that vertical line. So, okay, what are you going to avoid? What are you going to avoid when you are short-waisted? What did your mom tell you? She always said you can't tuck in your shirt and you can't wear what? Mom always said you can't wear a belt when you're short-waisted. You can't. No, little Sally, you can't wear a belt. You're short-waisted. Well, Mom kind of had a point, because what's a belt going to do, especially if it's right at your natural waist, which is, there's not a lot of space there. It's going to draw attention to that. So it's, she definitely had a point. You're definitely not going to want to wear those really thick belts, like the OB belts, I think they're called, or even, anything, a very thick belt, because think about it. If you're short-waisted and you're wearing a thick belt and you're tucking in your shirt, you're going to be like all leg and a little torso with belt and boobs. It's not going to be great proportion. But a thin belt, think of like a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, can totally be worn. And maybe you're not going to tuck your shirt all the way in and put on a belt. But if you're wearing mid-rise jeans, pants that are, they're maybe a little lower, and then you're wearing a belt, that can work. Here's a trick. Think about matching your belt color, not matching, but coordinating your belt color to your top color versus your pants, one or the other, but ideally your top, because that's going to, I'm not going to go buy a royal blue belt if it were me, but if I was wearing a black top and I had a really cool belt that I wanted to wear, I'd wear a black belt, and maybe it had a neat gold circle buckle. And then if you're not a tucker, then you're going to do the half tuck that we'll talk about at the end, and show your buckle, and then let the rest drape out. And there you've worn a belt. You've disobeyed mom. You've worn a belt, and you look great. Okay, so yes, you can wear belts. Avoid, unless you love it, the really thick belts. And let's say you're short-waisted, but you're 5'5" or 5'6", so you're not a traditional petite, but maybe you need to shop petite for your tops. There's no rule that says you can't. You're allowed to buy petite tops if you're quote-unquote tall enough to be non-petite. They might fit you better, so consider that. That might help your proportions of your tops work better. Okay, so we're gonna visually lengthen the torso. Solid color dresses are, those knee length or above solid color dresses are going to elongate your torso, because the solid color is gonna elongate things. Okay, so that's my short-waisted spiel. This is a little bonus tip. This is a little crazy. This is like a stretch, I think, but I have heard this. If you're trying to elongate your torso, longer earrings, or like oval shape earrings, chandelier earrings, those long straight earrings are gonna, again, create that vertical line versus, say, a big round earring, where maybe you wanna think of a round hoop if you're very long-waisted. I don't know if that really works, but do you understand what I'm saying? Vertical, okay? For short-waisted. Do we have any questions before I move to long-waisted? Don't leave. Just because you're short-waisted doesn't mean you're not going to learn something in the long-waisted section, because long-waisted women often have short legs. So with long-waisted, your goal is to kind of shorten your torso, but make your legs look longer. And with few exceptions, making your legs look longer is a common goal, right? We know a couple exceptions for people like that, and either they're supermodels or Suzanne Looney, who might be watching, who's like 6'1" with gorgeous long legs, that maybe she doesn't want to make her legs look even longer. But for a lot of people, the goal is to accentuate long legs or make shorter legs look longer. So that's where we are going next. So how do you know if you're long-waisted? We talked about this trick. You know, if you're doing this trick and your pinky finger and your belly button are far apart, you're probably long-waisted. Or if you just look in the mirror and you say, and your torso is longer relative to your legs, you are going to be considered long-waisted. A lot, but not all, many pear-shaped girls are long-waisted. They have a long waist, and oftentimes long-waisted women carry their weight in their hips and thighs, and they have shorter legs. Okay, so your goal when you're long-waisted is to make your waist look shorter visually, and by doing so, you're bringing up the length of your legs. You're going to make your legs look longer, and you're going to look more proportionate. Okay, do we have any long-waisted girls watching, ladies? Let me know. You know, and if you buy a shirt and you raise your hand and it's going up and it's not supposed to, it's not a belly shirt, it's not a crop top necessarily. Because if you're long-waisted, you're not wearing crop tops, right? I mean, you're not shopping for them because they're going to be, they're going to be really short, right? If you carry your weight in your hips and bottom, oftentimes you're long-waisted. If you have to buy long bathing suits, if you're buying a one piece, and you could be 5'2", 5'3", you could be petite, but if you have a very long torso, you might need to buy a long bathing suit. And I know Somersault, which is the hot new bathing suit company all over the internet, they do great marketing. They have bathing suits in long sizes. So for a one piece, you want to do that, or you're going to want to go with like a tankini or two piece. Because the thing with being long waist is it can make you look shorter than you are, and it can also make you look bottom heavy. So that's why you want to create that balance. And make your legs look longer. So what are you going to do? First thing you're going to do is you're going to embrace the high-waisted pant trend. It is your friend. It is everywhere. And, find the rise that's right for you. It's not going to be the same for everyone, but if you're very long-waisted, you might be able to go to the very high-waist jeans, the 10, 11, 12 rib cage. Sometimes they call them rib cage or ultra high waist. That is going to really elongate your legs, and it's going to shorten your torso. If you're long-waisted, you're with me, but think of someone who you might know who's got a very long torso and shorter legs. If you bring that line of the jeans up on them, their legs are going to look longer and their torso is going to look in proportion. Whereas if they wear bell bottoms or low-rise jeans, they're going to have, they're basically half their body is going to be up here and less than half their body is going to be down there. And that's not the goal. Okay. So high-waisted is the first place to start. Again, you're going to have the right bra because it's just the right thing to do, but it's not as important with short-waisted, but do that first too. You're going to find longer tops because you might have to shop at the tall girls, especially for things like bathing suits we talked about, for jumpsuits, some dresses, some tops. You might need to go into the tall section for it to have the right length. You don't want to have the top look like it's shrunk. You don't want it to be like clearly too small or too short because maybe it fits you everywhere, but it's not designed for someone with such a long torso. So you got to take that into consideration. The high-rise jeans will help that because you're shortening the amount of space the top needs to cover. But you're going to want to tuck in your shirt tuck it in, or at least do a half tuck, or what I'm doing here, I did it, a tie, a front tie, side tie. You're not going to want to do this. You're not going to want to have a really long tunic, and then you've got, what I'm wearing is the perfect example of really what not to wear when you're long-waisted. A really long top that's hitting me, oh my gosh, this top hits me not mid-thigh, but close to it, really, and it's even longer in the back. And then, I've got white jeans on that are slightly cropped. I mean, so my legs are gonna look really short relative to my top. That's what you're not gonna wanna do. You're gonna wanna bring up the length of your top. You're gonna wanna tuck into your high-rise jeans, even a loose tuck. You have a belly and you don't wanna accentuate that. You wanna do a loose tuck and let it blouse over, which will mask your tummy and it will bring up the length of your legs and take advantage of that high-rise waistband on your pants. For dresses, empire waists that bring things up are great. A-line that can, skim the body and bring up that waistline are great. They'll create the illusion of a higher raised waist. Keep your hemlines, again, at or just above the knee to lengthen your legs. Make your legs look longer by bringing that, the hemline up to just above the knee or right at the knee. Have it skim the kneecap. Bring the eye up. Details on the neckline, statement necklaces, great for bringing the eye up. We talked about high rise. If your legs if you're really trying to elongate your legs, a darker colored pant, a flare leg, a full length straight leg in a darker color is going to elongate. And then you're going to want to match the shoe color to your pant color, not match, coordinate. If you're wearing, dark blue skinny jeans, you're going to want to wear a black shoe or a dark burgundy shoe, something, a dark color, so you're not breaking up that line. So you're elongating your legs. Okay. Wear shorter jackets. You might want to have your top hitting, right around your hip bone, and then a shorter jacket layered over it will shorten your torso visually. And then you could wear your boot cut or your wide leg, black pants with a black heel. Great look. Let's see. Wide belts are your friend. Just broke my rubber band. That's not good. Wide belts are great when you've got a long torso. You've got lots of real estate here, so you can rock those cool wide belts. Okay. Front tucks, half tucks, French tucks. That's what I'm going to end with. It's a really great tool, and I feel like most people can do it. The people, if you're a really firm, if you're definitely an apple, if your midsection is significantly larger than your hips or your shoulders, then wearing a top untucked is that hits, just below your hip bone zone is going to be better than tucking. But if you want to play around with it and try, some people call it a French tuck, some people call it half tuck, some call it a loose tuck. I'm going to demonstrate different ways of doing it. Let's see before I do that, let me see if I have any questions. Because my face is round. Wow, thank you all for longer waisted person checking in. Debbie, hi Debbie. Debbie, you do have a longer waist. Thanks for joining. Okay, so the tuck. Let's see. I'm just going to apply this to everyone. We're not going to get into long and short waisted because we kind of talked about when I talked about the body type. But this top I like this top. It's a great because it's just so comfortable and it gives me lots of options for the length of it. And it's from Amazon and it's really good quality and it's stretchy and it's got the V-neck and great for summer. But it's a lot of material. And let's say you have a woven blouse if you wear it untucked, it can be a lot of material. It can be too flowy, too overwhelming. It can hide your curves. It can hide your figure. And maybe you bought it because you wanted to cover up and you've put on some weight and you figure, I just want to wear this billowy top to cover up those extra pounds. And I get that, absolutely. But by doing that and not creating any shape, you're just making yourself look even bigger. So we've talked about that a lot. So one easy way to take a woven blouse, you're not going to do this with a big, thick, chunky sweater. I do it with sweaters though, like a cashmere sweater or a cotton sweater. It's got to be a loose, thinnish material. And you got to try, I front tuck just about everything I own. except for big chunky sweaters. It's what I'm used to. I joked with one of the women in our group, we front tuck our pajamas. Like I feel more comfortable having material between my belly and my pants versus just my skin. It's a sensory thing for me too. But it oftentimes just looks very modern. It's a great way to make yourself look more modern. So there's nothing to it either. You just take like 2 or 3 inches of the fabric, depending on the length of the shirt, and you can tuck it in several different ways. Like you can go right into the front, front of the pant, and then just blouse it over. This one is very exaggerated because it is so long in the back, but picture if it was a shorter top. It's making my legs look longer, which, like we talked about, is almost always a pretty good goal. If I were very short-waisted, I might want to blouse it out even more. If I was very long-waisted, I might want to tuck it in a little bit more. So you're going to make those adjustments based on your long and short-waistedness, right? You got me there? If you're long-waisted, you're going to want to tuck it in more because it's going to shorten your torso and elongate your legs. If you're short-waisted, you're going to want to lengthen your torso by blousing out a little bit more. See the difference that makes? There's just more fabric, more real estate, just by a minor little change like that. See that? And play around with it and see where your sweet spot is. Take some pictures, and, take mirror selfies and figure out where your best tuck is. You might want to mix it up and go on to the side. Do a side tuck and create a horizontal line, which is a great angle. It's flattering, it's kind of dramatic, it's different. Again, with this top, picture it more like that. Okay. Now let's say you're wearing really high-waisted pants. Let's say you are a long-waisted girl and you have high-waisted pants and you don't want to tuck because your pants are really high. You can also tuck into the pocket. You could tuck into the pocket. Really, anyone could do this. Doesn't matter, but it works really well with high-waisted pants. If you don't feel comfortable tucking into very high-waisted pants, this top isn't the best example, but you can try tucking your shirt into one of the side pockets and getting that horizontal line that way. One of my favorite things, which is how I had this until I broke the rubber band, is that gives you a lot of flexibility, especially with a top like this that's like stretchy and lots of fabric, is just tie it. And this I actually could just tie in a knot like that. I'm not gonna do it. And then, I will do it. What I prefer is my little rubber band trick. Go to CVS or drugstore or Amazon and get like Goody makes them, just the size of a dime. Clear rubber band. They sell them like by the thousands. I have them, they're probably all over the house. And that way you're not stretching the fabric, you're not creating too many wrinkles. I would just put it around here and just like you're doing a ponytail. So it would create a little, kind of like a flower almost. And I mean, you could buy tops already done like this, or you can just do it yourself. It's like a faux front tuck. And that gives you the real flexibility, especially again with a top with some length, to play with the length. So you can tie it tighter, higher, or lower, depending on your waistedness, long, short, or just what you're in the mood for, or maybe you're layering it under a jacket. So you might want to have it be a little bit longer and then wear a shorter jacket, like I talked about earlier. So that's a great little trick too, is the rubber band. And then there's another trick where you can do it up here with a quarter. Have you seen that? I've never actually done it. If you Google the quarter trick with shirts, you can create like a gather in the shirt and use a quarter. That's beyond me, but I've seen it done and it's really cool. I stick to just the knot. I prefer the knot on the side versus in the front, personally, with this kind of shirt, because then otherwise it's just, I don't know, it's just this thing protruding from your middle. I like it better on the side. You could be, let's say you're wearing a button-up shirt, tying it, instead of leaving it long, tying it, especially if it's long and gauzy and not like a stiff shirt, but a shirt that lets you tie it, that's got some stretch. That I love. Just unbutton the last couple buttons of the button-down shirt and tie it, and then play with the length that's right for you based on your torso length. Okay, we covered a lot today, and I hope I probably got my long and shorts mixed up. I always do that, but hopefully I was clear. And if you have any questions, if you have any specific questions for yourself, feel free to type them in below, and I'll go back later today and read your comments and get back to you. But play around and don't get caught up with rules and shoulds and shouldn'ts. Just remember you're good, better, and best, and have fun. Have fun with it. And Mara, I'm glad it was helpful. Have fun. And at the end of the day, just get dressed, okay? Put clothes on, have fun with your clothing, wear what you own, dig in your closet, and get dressed. But before I forget, I almost forgot. I am starting a free 21-day Just Get Dressed challenge. It's going to start on Monday, the 9th, and run for 21 days. There will be a prompt every day, a simple prompt that's going to range from things that will help you figure out what your personal style is, things that will help you with your closet, things that will help you with what to put on, outfit ideas, just quick and easy things. Because it's summer, it's not going to be, full outfit formulas or outfit ideas, but it's going to be prompts that you can use one a day for 21 days starting on the 9th. I will post below the link to sign up. It's totally free, and it's all going to take place in my hashtag Just Get Dressed VIPs Facebook group. So if you're not a member of that, you're going to want to join as well, and there will be a link to that in the email that you'll get when you sign up for the free challenge. So I hope you'll join us. It'll be a lot of fun. Great way to spend August, because the other caveat is that this is a no shopping challenge. This is, I'm really trying in August to definitely not buy anything summer related. I can't promise I won't buy fall related because I've got the fall program coming and I got to get that going, but no more summer stuff, ladies. I know the sales are coming. I know they are tempting, but unless there's something that you need, that you have on a list, send me the list. I want to see your list that says I am missing fill in the blank for summer. Then I'll give you a pass. But if it's just, I saw this top on Instagram and she looked so cute and it was only $9.99 and it's, a great summer top and I know I'll wear it next year. Next year, there'll be another top. You don't need it. You probably have a top. Just wear that one, okay? So go Just Get Dressed if you haven't already. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you here next Tuesday at noon. And I'll see you somewhere on the internet too. Take care. Bye.